Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio for this? I'm hoping. Okay, great. Thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it is time for the noon edition of Welcome to My World. This is the 14th of June, and it is a Tuesday. So, happy Tuesday trading, everybody. We've had some interesting things this morning. And then we've had some real boring things too. But this is kind of interesting. We've had the big news of the morning here is that this VIX has popped well over 21. I looked at it once. I thought it was, I don't know, 2 or 3 ticks over 22, but it's trading right now at 21.46. This is not a good thing for the general feeling of what's happening with these indices and the U.S. stock market. Remember, the VIX is, if you're not familiar with it, the VIX is an index that is, it's VIX, and it's the volatility index. It's known as the fear factor. So as this comes up, normally it will be in the 13, maybe 14, 15, but rarely does it get over 15. And it can go down, I think about 6 or 8 months ago, we had it down to around 10. And that's very, very low. But those are normal numbers, lower, right around 15. 13 is average. When it gets over 20 and it starts heading north from there, we're going to see a lot of big money move out of the U.S. stock markets, and they are looking for a safer haven, so to speak. Of course, that used to be treasuries, but now that treasuries are paying, I don't know, next to nothing, that's not very attractive. So there's a lot of big money that is moving into currencies right now to take advantage of the carry trade overnight. It's the only place these big banks can make any money on their money overnight. So today, everything has pretty much, these 4 U.S. indices have pretty much traded in unison, and it really looks like the NQ has been the strongest of those. It was stronger going up, and it was stronger going down. And I think quite a few people in here got some ticks off of NQ. The mic's silent. I haven't touched a thing. Is it still silent? I hope not. I'm cutting out. Okay. I'll just go with the most. Lori says I'm not cutting out, so that's Nurse Ratchet. That's good enough for me. I'll just keep going. Anyway, if you are having trouble hearing, you may have to log out and log back in real quick. The reason I do a sound test on this every time I start is because it is recorded, and it's to make sure our producer, Tony, has got a chance to click his buttons or whatever he's doing. So if you miss anything that you want to hear, you can catch the recording later. Anyway, the crude oil's kind of bounced up and down, and it has certainly been boring. This has been a really good day for a lot of this stuff to practice peeing. Today has taken quite a lot of peeing, I think. The people who are making the ticks are really, really, really picky about those entries. You have to get very picky with your entries. And you have to be patient to wait for the setups. Don't force a trade. And I even have to tell myself that a lot. Yes, Darby, we do a lot of peeing in here. But you have to be patient. You cannot force these trades. That's how it turns around and bites you. So get picky, get patient if you want to get paid. And being paid and being profitable is that should be the number one reason you're in here. So don't just blow that off, because it's a whole lot like kissing. If this is truly very simple. Try not to complicate it. Try to keep it as simple as you possibly can for what is going to accomplish your goals. Simple will work much better. You know, I've seen a lot of these various and assorted trading seminars, and they got so much stuff going on all over the place, I can't figure out which way's up and which way's down. And frankly, when you get that much stuff, neither can they. If you can't see the very simple things, then take a bunch of junk off of your charts until you've got it down to the simplest thing that's going to get you to the tick bank. You can always add more stuff later. That's not a problem. But at first, you start analyzing till you get paralyzed, and that doesn't do you any good either. So be picky, be patient if you want to get paid. And the reality is, this is a business, and you need to be running a profitable business. So, the other thing that I wanted to mention is we've got a lot of new people that are coming in, and this is about mid-month. Tomorrow's 15th. If you don't have a business plan and you don't have it in writing, and you know, oh, I have it kind of in my head, that's not going to work out real well for you. You need to get real clear with yourself about exactly what you want and set about what it's going to take to get you where you want to go, because nobody can do that except you. And this literally is the keys to the kingdom. So it's you know, it's one of those things, if it's to be, it's up to me. Another old adage that I have found very, very true is don't trade by yourself. People who trade out here on a little cloud somewhere all by themselves tend to get real frustrated, spin a lot of wheels, go through a lot of money. That's what this room is for. It's for the buddy system. So we've all got somebody to trade with. It doesn't matter whether you're doing exactly what the next person is doing, but you've got somebody to bounce ideas off. You know, I'm thinking about, is this about to be a setup on whatever market, and get some input. So there's an enormous amount of value here. Somebody asked about the Brexit referendum and the date on that. That's next week. It's a week, Thursday week. It's the 23rd. The Brits are voting on that. So today and tomorrow the Feds are meeting. Heaven only knows what they'll decide to do. They've been making a lot of noise about raising interest rates. And with this VIX up as high as it is right now, I'd be kind of surprised if they did that, or at least announce that this week. They're real good at postponing, if you've noticed. And so we'll just kind of, that's something to keep in the back of your mind. But tomorrow, when they end their meeting, they may very well make some sort of an announcement. So we'll see. Tomorrow morning, we had some news this morning. Amazingly enough, it was all pretty good news. Tomorrow morning, don't forget, we've got crude oil inventories at 10:30. And that's going to be kind of an interesting thing tomorrow because they put in more storage facilities for the U.S. Crude oil storage is stored in Cushing, Oklahoma, and they've got more storage, but the backlog of their stored crude has been pretty well moved out of there because nobody else had any, and the Canadians weren't contributing to the oil with that fire up in Alberta. So U.S. rig count is starting to come up, and it's been going down for the last 6 months. Not hugely, but when you add up, 3 here and 2 the next week and 7 the next week, and I think 1 week there was 10, that literally took about half of the U.S. production offline. So that's starting to come back now a little bit. Tomorrow morning at 8:30, the Breakfast Club crowd will have some news in UK tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern Time. But the U.S. at 8:30 Eastern Time is going to have some news, and so that there's Canadian numbers coming out on manufacturing sales for Canada too. Keep in mind that the Canadian dollar trades is the correlation currency for crude oil. So if you trade crude oil, pay attention to that also, what the Canadian dollar is doing. Then at 9:15, we have capacity utilization and industrial production. And then at 10:30 will be the crude oil inventories. So when we've had a morning like this, going into the close might be a little more interesting because I've noticed that Brent oil has traded in a real tight range literally since midnight. It hasn't moved very much off of there. It's like the traders just don't really want to take any big positions right now. And that VIX is concerning, so we'll keep an eye on that. If that starts to head up towards 25 and 30, you're going to see a big sell-off in the U.S. indices. So I think that's about it. There have been more scalping trades this morning. Nothing really trended. Gold had a couple of nice trends, but that's about all I